Seconds remaining.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the joinDOTA League Season 2. This is the America Region 1. This is the playoffs and the semifinals between NoT Today, formerly known as Revenge, and Union Gaming. The winner of this best of 3 will move on to face NoT in the finals, and this is game 2 of said best of 3. In the last game, we got to see NoT Today take a good fight when there was not a buyback on an couple important heroes, and they were able to just necro 3, and with all their ores, with the AC, even the Drum of Endurance on the Doom, the Alpha Wolf creep, the necro 3, all that stuff, we're just able to go ahead and base race it. And what I actually did not mention, because I did not notice it, was that Lycan, it wasn't that he didn't have buyback from money, he actually didn't have buyback because of cooldown. So NoT Today just hit a very good timing there. We're able to take the game. So this is brought to you by Heflatv, and I am Roxas, and with me once again for this game 2 is going to be Grandis. What do you think of that last game, friend?
That was a pretty insane game, to be honest. Lots of throws, lots of counter throws, and in the end, NoT Today was able to secure that win, as you said, just finding a really sweet spot timing window. Even though they were down 2 racks, were able to secure the win for themselves. So, well, this game, the bans are looking fairly familiar, with the exception of the Doom being banned out by NoT Today, so we're not going to see a Doom pick, at least. So Mirana will be the first pickup for NoT Today. With the Shadow Demon already banned out, they won't have that easy or rather traditional combo available to themselves, but Bane is still in the pool, and still plenty of other heroes with reliable stuns to set up the arrow.
Yeah, and the thing about arrow is, like, that's not the only thing Mirana has, right? Like, the reason that Mirana is so good is just because all of her abilities are amazing, and just what she provides to her team is almost unparalleled as far as just any other hero in the game, especially one that can scale so well with items and actually be an appreciable carry late in the game. Because Mirana kind of always had this stigma about her where it was like, yeah, she's really good at laning, but, you know, so what if it's a free-farming Mirana, right? But then you had people like Loda, or you had people like Burning or Havos that would take the Miranas in these carry roles and show up with all his farm and just be like, wait a second, this chick actually hits real hard, but it's good stuff, and it's still worthy of the first pick, even though she's fallen off a little bit. The arrow nerf kind of hurts. You can kind of feel it a little bit, especially in those non-5-second arrow, 4-second arrow ranges, but still a very good hero. Union Gaming responds with the Ember Spirit and Disruptor right away, and then NoT Today does get the Bane. What do you think about Ember Spirit? I don't really think he's really that good anymore, especially not a first pick worth.
I don't know, in the right hands, he can completely turn a game on his head, but he needs some other heroes backing him up. Something above him up, preferably a Magnus pick for Union Gaming, to be honest. With a Disruptor already, RP into the Stagstorm Kinetic Field combo is wonderful, and then having just that extra damage as well as Cleave coming up from the power would be really nice for Union Gaming. But yeah, as you said, Ember Spirit on his own just really feels lackluster. But if he does get off to a good start, I don't know, he can snowball fairly hard, and is very mobile and a fairly high skill cap hero, so still I think certain teams can pick him up very early, and well, we'll just have to see how Union Gaming put him to work.
Yeah, I think the thing about Ember Spirit though is just, it's not that there's any lack of thinking, oh, can he snowball or can he do well with items. It's I like to draw a lot of parallels between him and Slark, right? Is that Slark is kind of like, I get 1 or 2 items and then I go and have a then I can go kill everyone, then I can go snowball, then I can actually farm very quickly and effectively as well as Shadow Dance. But can you imagine just if there was a big nerf to that area of Slark? Not, I can't obviously speculate what it would be, but the phase where Slark starts roaming around trying to get kills and trying to farm at the same time, that's what Ember Spirit went by. Like, he needs that period of time, and that's what got nerfed the hardest with that Slate of Fists. You can feel it really, really distinctly as well. And I think it makes him really suffer. He needs to go and get stuff done, but he also needs to get items, and all the items he needs are very expensive. Battle Furies and Daedalus or Daedalus, they don't really pay for themselves. He's not a hero that can kind of just get cheap items and get by. Something like a Molnir or something like, you know, Drums. Like, yeah, he can do stuff with them, but it's really, really underwhelming. So, and plus, there's so many heroes that are good against him that are just good in the meta right now. With this, all the silences, heroes like Disruptor, heroes like Faceless Void, heroes like even the Bone Fletcher Clinks. and Bloodseeker as well are all very good. And speaking of Slark, they're going to actually pick up... Wow, that's a funny coincidence. I was talking about two heroes that need to do the same thing and be really successful at the same point in the game, and they pick them both up. All right.
Well, yeah, the interesting thing about Ember Spirit is the way that he peaks in a game. He has this point where he gets his levels early up in the Flame Guard as well as the Chains, and then he peaks there, and then he falls off once that magic damage really isn't enough for kills, and then he needs those big items. And then later on, he peaks once he gets that Battle Fury, Data Lie, and whatnot. But with this Slark pickup, it's going to make up for a little bit of that downwards hump in the Camel's back there, where Slark is going to be able to pick up a little bit of slack and make some space for this Ember Spirit this game. I think it's a solid pickup for Union Gaming, but they're going to rely very heavily on having a good early start on these heroes and making sure they're going to be able to transition that into a good mid-game for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, sorry for rambling so much on that point. I realized I was talking for about a minute there. But you make a great point. It's just that Union Gaming is kind of putting themselves in a circumstance where... Oh my god, Lycan. But they're putting themselves in a circumstance where a lot of it's just going to come down to execution. And for some teams, that really helps them thrive. And for some teams, it's kind of a curse, because they just go and maybe a few things fall a bit short. Communication can be difficult. Some things don't necessarily go the way that they should, even if you're in the best position at the best time. Stacking stuns or going in whenever you think you shouldn't. And then you're kind of behind against these teams that can just fall back and farm and then just rely on their items. And it's not necessarily, like, idiot-proof is a bad way to put it, but certainly it's a little bit easier to execute on paper, especially now that you have a Lycanthrope as well. You have two carries that are going to have an appreciable amount of physical damage and can scale very well with items, and they can just farm if they want to.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Union Gaming put themselves in a bit of a sticky situation as far as these bans are concerned. They wanted to take out that Bloodseeker because it would be wonderful up against the Ember Spirit with that very long duration silence, as well as up against a Slark with the Thirst that gives you vision while you're under half health to reduce a lot of the effectiveness of his Shadow Dance regen, as well as the silence on him keeping him in place is very strong. And so, by banning that Bloodseeker, which I think is definitely a warranted ban if they wanted to go for this pickup of the Slark, they're going to leave the Lycanthrope in the pool, and, well, not today, going to be all too happy to take that one up for themselves.
They also didn't want Union Gaming to get it. It's possible to run offlane Slark, even though I think it's pretty bad. I mean, I guess a few weeks ago everyone was thinking that Faceless Void offlane was pretty bad, right? But Slark can go in the offlane, he can get levels and everything else, and a Dire Side Lycan is still really, really annoying to deal with. And Union Gaming, they almost won with it last game, so not today. Wanted to make sure that they didn't get it. And given as much time that Union Gaming is taking for this last pick, I think they wanted the Lycan in that slot. And they go with the Axe instead. A hero that does really well against Lycan.
Yeah, I don't know. The Lycan last game was on the Radiant side previously. But still, yeah, Axe, a wonderful pickup against the Lycanthrope, giving you that lockdown through BKB, as well as just being generally annoying in lane up against him. If they are able to get the Axe versus Lycanthrope matchup, especially if it's something like in the mid or in a 1v1 situation, that can be wonderful for the Axe. The Wolves, he doesn't really care about them. It's just pretty much free spins for himself, and we'll clean through those very quickly. And I don't know, he'll be able to harass the Lycan very effectively, so he might look at some different lanes coming up from NoT today, maybe trying to rotate this Lycan into a different laning situation, and there you go. Night Stalker mid.
So, wow. Talk about control against the Slark and the Ember Spirit in particular. Heroes that really, really rely on their abilities before they're farming up their pretty expensive items. You can't Dark Pact off a Silence Bro. That requires using an ability. So he's going to need to get a Manta style or a BKB, or he needs to get a Lincoln Sphere. But for Slark, you kind of just want to get Drums and Shadow Blade. That's just normally what Slarks like to get. And then that's the word go for them. But now he needs Night Stalker. If you have a Shadow Blade and you're relying on that for your escape, he just buys dust for 180 gold, and your 3k item is worthless. He kills you anyway. Not to mention that silence just lasts so long at nighttime that it makes it really, really difficult for anyone to get away, almost. So, really smart pickup, I think.
Yeah, I'm in love with this Night Stalker pickup, not only because the silence is just really good up against Ember Spirit and Slark, also just because we're going to have a very clashy game with this pickup. Maybe not for the first night, but Second night, it's game time. With this Bane Miranda, they're going to be roaming around trying to get kills with this Night Stalker, and then transition those into tower pushes with the Lycanthrope. And similarly for Union Gaming, that's going to be about the time where their heroes are coming online as well, so we're probably going to have some fairly big engagements. Union Gaming going to go ahead and pick up the Witch Doctor for themselves. I'm not sure how I really feel about Witch Doctor here. He's always a solid support with the cask, a very good stun. Also, the physical damage is always nice coming out from the...
It's just really, really good in the lane with Axe. Which, like, if you think about dual lanes with Axe, some of the best heroes that come to mind are like Witch Doctor, Dazzle, Abaddon, Omni Knight, and Crystal Maiden. Those are the ones that I really think of, just because, in particular, or Wisp is really good too. Wisp or Tree. Heroes with a lot of regen, if you have stuns on top of that, it's really great. But last pickup from NoT today, they're going to go ahead and pick up a Windrunner support. Or no, that's actually... Wait, is this... Are they just going super green and going Lycan jungle? Because this is an offlane Windrunner.
It's an offlane Windrunner? No, I think it's a roaming Bane Mirana.
Oh. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. All right. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the lineups. Union Gaming, falling a bit short in that last game with a bit of buyback fiascos, but they're going to be looking to bounce back, take 2 in a row, and they start with a smoke up going towards Radiant Jungle. Benyaz will be playing on your Axe. It will be Jericho playing on the Witch Doctor. Zyndrals will be his partner in crime on the Disruptor support. Syndralin will be going mid as your Ember Spirit, and then Slark will be played in the safe lane by Angel.
Yeah, and on the Radiant side, we're going to have Ewo playing on the Lycanthrope. He might get caught out here. Ugh, I kind of want to stop introducing the teams just in case he gets spotted out here. The smoke did pop. They should know he's here, and he's just going to run towards the north. I don't think he knows what's going on. Oh no, Pink's coming out from Night Stalker. They spotted them out in the tower. Well, I don't want to move my eyes away from here. I don't know, looks like they will back off eventually. Ewo will be just fine. So the rest of his team is going to be Night Stalker, played by Smash. The tri-lane coming out so far is 313B on that Mirana. Nova playing on the Wind Ranger, and that will leave the Bane, played by Mono.
Yeah, absolutely. So the other cool thing about picking up a Windrunner support, it's also a core that's a mech carrier. That works really well for your team, and currently they didn't really have a good mech carrier on their team, so that works out pretty well. I think like a Darkseer probably would have been a little bit better, but you know, so be it. I like seeing this hero. I was actually talking to you earlier about this hero in particular, but we'll see how she does this game. And it looks like they might have wanted to cut the lane with Axe a little bit. I think, yeah, they're still down there, but they decided not to do it. But it will be a solo Lycan against a Witch Doctor and an Axe, so he's just going to have to go jungle like right away. He's not going to have a fun time at all.
Definitely not. It will be Disruptor, so maybe a little bit more helpful than the Witch Doctor as far as just not having a constant regen onto Benjaz. But in the end, Lycanthrope is going to be zoned out very hard, and he'll probably want to find level 2 or 3 before he really commits fully to the jungle. But yeah, he's probably going to have to resolve to go towards that jungling farm in order to make up for this poor start that he's going to have on these first couple of waves. As far as the Wind Ranger, I kind of like it a little bit more than the Darkseer this game, mostly because they just don't have supports that synergize well with the Vacuum. They have Vacuum to Arrow, sure, but they don't have any of those traditional big AoE disables, and I think just having the Wind Ranger Shackle as well as just the physical damage from Focus Fire will be just fine for them. Also, she's a fairly sufficient laner, so they can roam around with this Bane and Mirana if they choose to do so. Right now, Mirana is sitting towards mid, looking for some pot shot arrows onto Sidorlin, but he's not going to be able to find them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Bane's just trying to soak up a few levels here. If he hits level 3 fairly early, that'll be pretty nice. Just because the Nightmare in the Brain Sap is a lot of pure damage, a lot of heroes can't really deal with early on. And it looks like they're going to be moving toward the full tri-lane bottom, but the arrow's going to hit Jericho. They have no follow-up, though. That's just to be like, well, hey, I have this ability. Also, Glimpse, very short one on the IWO. Is there a Berserker's Call? Yes, there is. And he's going to be standing in front of them, and Wolves are going to be pop up. First Blood going to be drawn by Mignaz and Jericho. He's being chased by the Wolves. He's taking a lot of tower damage. But it looks like he will be able to heal up. He's not level 2, but it will be in just a moment for that Voodoo Restoration.
Well, Disruptor
picked him. Pretty excited about that First Blood, man.
Yeah, definitely. Disruptor picked himself up an Orb of Venom. What do you think of this pickup for Disruptor?
So, I think this is underrated in circumstances when you want to be very aggressive with a range hero, because people are like, oh, a range Orb of Venom is pretty bad, but the only difference is actually the slow. The damage is exactly the same, so if you're able to constantly keep that Orb of Venom on a melee hero, that actually is a lot of damage it can't really deal with. So it just shows that he's really prioritizing the harassment and being involved in that first blood. Got him that extra gold, so he's going to prioritize just the laning presence instead of getting something like his early boots.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm a huge fan of this Orb of Venom, especially now that he has rotated off of the bottom lane and isn't actively harassing the Lycanthrope. It might have been nice for that first minute, but even then it really just felt lackluster. The slow didn't really mean anything. Yeah, the lockdown was nice, or the lockdown is what led to the kill, not the Orb of Venom slow. But either way, we are going to have a little bit of run around in the woods. Ewo might be locked into a corner here. Huh. We'll be able to find a path through the trees. Axe not going to bump into him. But for now, Axe is just going to be able to cut these creeps and soak up some farm here.
Yeah, and this is one of the best things about Axe, especially when once he just hits level 3 as level 2 counter helix, he can just cut creeps all day. And the Witch Doctor always having the Voodoo Restoration there. And even if they get something like a Ring of Basilius, they're always going to have the mana for this as well. So Lycan forced to last hit under tower if he gets to last hit at all, and if he goes up, well, the best thing about Lycan is his physical damage, and that's just the thing that Axe counters really hard. Is physical damage, so it's just going to be a difficult game for him. At the very least, he's still getting a lot of levels and he's still not dying, especially whenever Rabbit comes down to help him out. Smash, he does have a haste rune, so he is Batman right now, but it's only daytime. Now it's nighttime. He gets a regen rune top, but the haste rune does run out, so only one level in Hunter in the night as well. This is that first nighttime, not too effective, but bottom lane, looks like there was a call.
I believe so as well, but Ewo will be able to back off and just salve through the majority of that. They rotate Smash towards his bottom lane. They want to make something happen, but Jericho's just going to be able to back off. He pops a Restoration. He's going to eat a Void to the face, and Smash looking for the right clicks. Arrow's going to be soaked up by the creep. They silence up Benjaz. He's not able to get the call off, and Smash is just going to be forced to back off. There's no units around for cast balance, and the call is going to be completely off the mark. Now he's going to try to turn here. A very aggressive move coming out for Smash. He's taking too much damage, and does not have a point, or isn't level 6 just yet, so doesn't have to worry about the Culling Blade, but in the end, a completely wasted rotation from this Night Stalker.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate for him there, but this is the other thing, just why we kind of see Night Stalker fall off is you want to be aggressive around this time. You don't really want to wait until the second nighttime, and it also kind of forces you to get that early level 6, just because the time when you want to be aggressive around 6 minutes or so, you just kind of need to have your ultimate to make it nighttime, but still, I still think it's a good pick, but we're just kind of seeing why it's a little bit frustrating before the 10-minute mark or so.
Yeah, and at least for now, he's falling a little bit behind the Ember Spirit with these rotations, but still looking fine. Ember Spirit has a slight edge as far as last hits are concerned, as well as experience, but not super significant.
Yeah. We did, I think, somehow miss a kill on the top lane, as Windrunner is sitting 1-0-1, and Angel is sitting at 0-1, so it looks like they did get a pick-off on both Angel and Zindrals in the top lane. We missed that a little bit just from the Windrunner and the Bane. So, good on them there. Windrunner sitting at level 5, whereas you have the Slark being forced to pull. But, bottom lane, looks like there's a slight dive here. Binyaz, he's finally going to get punished for his ways. Shackle Shot's going to latch. Power Shot secures the kill. And Nova secures his second kill on the Windrunner support. Or, sorry, she's not a support this game. I've been not used to seeing her in dual lanes.
Yeah, definitely not, but still putting that rotation to good use, and Windranger has 1 key gold to bank. We'll have to see where she wants to make this item choice. We have a smoke up towards top lane, looking for a pick off on this poor solo Bane, and, well, yeah, Bane, I think you're as good as dead. Yep.
Say your prayers, Mono.
Jericho hasn't thrown out the stun just yet, and
say your prayers
Bane,
to
is he going to get out? No. There's the cast to drop things off. Well, Bane's fairly fast. Arrow to fly.
Did you see that remnant dodge of that arrow? He has
yes.
a DD. So he's very dead. It's very important for Angel to get that experience as well.
But yeah, Ember Spirit barely dodging the arrow, was able to survive in the end and wasn't clipped by that one. Unfortunately for not today, but, well, they used a lot of time of the enemy team chasing down that Bane. Still worth it getting a kill on the support, always nice. But in the end, it definitely could have been worse for not today.
Yep, and Windrunner did go ahead and pick up a Buckler, so she will be the Met carry as originally speculated for the team. So she's going to farm that up nice and quickly. Also just very, very good on this hero who has a pretty low base strength, so the health regen and the armor do a little bit more for her, plus she's a ranged hero, so mech one of the best items for that for a ranged hero. And Cinderland getting silenced in the mid lane, but throws out a remnant, it's going to TP back home. And it was daytime right away, so Smash became instantly a little bit less powerful.
Yeah, well, for now it is still 9. He's going to throw out one sleight of fist spam onto Smash. He's going to get the chains as well, and Smash trying to man fight up against this. He silences him up, but he's taking too much damage from the flame guard. Smash will be able to back off with 2 points on 100 Knight as well as the face boots, but
That's
a
the
very
power of
aggressive
Max
move.
Flame Guard.
It's not?
It does a lot of damage for
Yeah.
Radiance. Well, so in the bottom lane, Axe doing really well against Lycan. This is just why Axe is picked. He just absolutely dominates Lycan in the laning phase, and they're going to be able to take this tower. But still, having only one death and being level 7 is really impressive in its own right. But Smash, he comes down.
Oh, Ewo.
Back to base. Shapeshift
Yeah.
just popped as well. Howl is going to be used. Cask is coming in. It's actually bouncing so much. At least the wolves are not visible. He's going to go down Jericho instead, but instead, Smash is going to get dunked. And they're going to be going 0 for 1. In the meantime, Disruptor goes out in the top lane, and Ember Spirit comes in to rotate as well. They manage to get a kill on the Bane, but the Windrunner is able to get out. So, looks like a 1 for 2 all across the board, as well as the tower going down.
Yeah, pretty much sums up that last engagement. I don't know. They were diving hard up in the top lane, I believe. I didn't catch the entirety of that engagement up in top, but still, the kill score is tied up 4-4, and that tier 1 tower is going to go the favor of Union Gaming, so I'd say that they're at a decent advantage to start things off. That tier 1 tower in bottom is fairly important for jungle control. Up in top, we might have something going on. They're pinging each other out and might be looking for a kill onto Angel. Angel does have his level 6 and is very slippery as the Slark and shouldn't drop. We do have a little bit of push coming out in the mid lane from Union Gaming. They're grouping up as
a little
4
bit.
heroes.
There are 4 of them.
Yep.
I don't know what you define as a little bit of push. Oh, Era's going to connect on Binyaz.
Yeah, no follow-up for that. They dropped the Night Stalker ultimate to make this nighttime. They drop a void onto the Witch Doctor, but in the end, just a little harass going the way of Jericho, and I believe that's only a level 1 ultimate on the Night Stalker, and sure enough it is, only level 7 on him. Yeah, it would have been pretty crazy if it was level 11, and for now, a lot of
level 11
remnants
in 9.5 minutes. That's pretty good, man. That's over a level a minute.
Yeah, definitely. You'd have to be snowballing very hard, but we are going to be, about the middle of this second day for Smash. So this is really a time where Night Stalker's, I don't know, incredibly weak and tried to make something happen in the middle lane. Was able to fend off the push in the end, but still not really making much happen. And for now, both teams are just going to back off and farm.
Yeah, I think it's kind of needed. Like, both of the carries, both Angel as well as your Lycanthrope, just both had bad laning phases. They both got dominated in their safe lane, and they have to back off and they have to try to farm. Fortunately, the Lycanthrope can farm the jungle, whereas Slark kind of just have to sit in lane, but at least he does have his Shadow Dance available to him. He can also be sure to just Dark Pact anytime he sees a Shackle Shot coming his way. And that's really all that can get him, minus the Nightmare into the Shackle Shot. And Bane is the one hanging around here a bit, but one of them can't kill him, which is a fortunate thing. But speaking of which, Windrunner, she's TPing in right away. Power Shot's going to be there. Fiend's Grip is coming up as well. Shadow Dance, does he get it off? All the creeps? The Shackle Shot doesn't connect?
Yeah,
Leading off
Angel.
with that Power Shot, I don't agree with leading off with that Power Shot. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, they're able to get a Blink call. Axe showing off the Blink Dagger for the first time, able to get a kill on the bottom.
Yeah, pretty much a little bit of action on both of the lanes, but Slark, he's just such a hard kill once he gets out level 6. Even if you do manage to get the Fiend's Grip off and he doesn't get the Dark Pact off or the Shadow Dance beforehand, even afterwards, he's still able to pop that away, pounce away to safety, and make his way out. Yeah, well, they're going to take this tier 1 tower, and now the cast going to bounce towards the Mirana. However, no creeps there to bounce towards, and it looks like we're just going to have a little bit of a tower trade as tier 1 tower going to be under some pressure. Axe is coming in. He has the Blink Dagger going to go onto the Bane. A TP coming out from him. They might be able to cancel it. No way to stop that TP. They needed the chains coming out from the Ember Spirit. Weren't attempted, and well, we're going to miss a kill on the Mirana, or Witch Doctor, excuse me. Mirana picking up that kill as Witch Doctor was way too aggressive out here. Not quite sure what he was doing inside those trees.
Feeding? No, oh, man. But yeah, that was the thing that Union Gaming is really getting all of this is they're winning these small skirmishes and turning them into towers, which is just particularly good against a Lycanthrope who really thrives on getting tier 1 towers early. So it becomes increasingly difficult for him to get those tier 1 towers whenever he's playing from behind in the map control. And we saw that in the last game. Even after they were chipping away the towers, just when they lost their tier 2s first, it was really difficult for Binyaz on that Lycan to actually just get that map control back. So I think that just Union Gaming playing very smart and very objective based right now, and they have the two heroes topping the net worth chart, and the only one on NoT today is just that mech carrier. All she has is phase mech, not really doing too much in the way of physical DPS or control, minus just a shackle shot and the focus fire, which are pretty underwhelming at these levels anyway.
Well, round 2 up in the top lane, up against the Slark. They're looking for an engagement. Mono looking for the Fiend's Grip. He's going to drop it off. The Dark Pact is going to take it off eventually. Now he's going to be able to bounce away to safety. Shackle. Well, they're going to start it with Nightmare, but TPs are coming in droves. They need to get the heck out of there. There's an arrow. Shackle to follow up, but now the blink call coming out from Nova. They're trying to clean up Angel. They just need a couple more auto attacks, but the Shadow Dance is going to be there. Power shot from Nova. Dominating streak for him, as well as cleaning up that kill on the Slark. And Witch Doctor also going to die. Didn't see where that happened, but it was just smashed. Now he's looking for more Disruptor. Going to throw the Glimpse back on the Night Stalker, but with the Hunter of the Night, he's going to be able to try to dive this, but Under Tower is just taking too much damage, and he's held in place with the chains as well. Smash. Yeah, the Orb of Venom being put to good use there, and, well, another Sleight of Fist gets this kill on the Night Stalker
on top,
mid.
Though, they're setting up the Shackle shot again. Blink.
Oh, Benyaz.
He would have landed a Shackle there. Oh, come on, guys. Why you guys gotta yell so loud?
Well, either way, we're going to have a double chains coming up from the Ember Spirit call. Not going to be on the mark, however. And now the pounce also missed. All of the spells aren't going to connect. But a dunk coming out from Benyaz. They're going to be able to blow up the Wind Ranger. She tried to TP out. I thought she'd be able to make it, but in the end, the damage was just too much coming out from that maxed Flame Guard with the axe on top of it as well.
IWO doing exactly what Benyaz was doing last game, just being a rat. He's going for the Necronomicon first. Same build, Vlad's Necro. He's got his Staff of Wizardry up, and there's no glyph on this bottom lane, so he can do an appreciable amount of damage. Courier? Orb of Venom!
Apparently that works on couriers too.
It does, man. Anything that goes through BKB works on a courier. You can Fiend's Grip a courier.
You can dunk a courier.
You can dunk a courier. You can Demonic Purge a courier. I don't know if you can Chrono a courier. I think you can.
I'd expect you'd be able to.
I guess you can. I know you can Black Hole a courier.
Yeah, I don't know. Couriers are fickle beings. Let's see. 2-1 tower up in the top lane.
It's still being defended, and they're trying to secure the deny more than anything else.
At this point, that is what it is. Blink call going to land onto 313B. The follow-up pounce. There's no way that Mirana's getting out there alive, and indeed she won't. Yep, the Shackle did latch onto Benyaz. Now the follow-up Nightmare is going to keep him in place. Now they're gripping up Cinderland, but it's not going to be enough. The Static Storm going to be plenty of lockdown for that Bane, and Nova call coming out for Benyaz. He just does not know the word surrender, and now he's going to go further on to Nova with Ember Spirit following in and smash. He's going to get the pounce off onto Angel getting the pounds off on the smash. He's taking a lot of damage for that power shot. They're looking for this kill on Wind Ranger. Will they be able to chase him down? They drop a Remnant Shackle to the last shot Angel, but one more cleave from Cydolin's sword. They'll be able to get that kill, and, well, Wolves chasing down this poor Disruptor here. Well, juking through the trees. Will it be enough? I think he'll be okay. I don't know. He might not be. They just need a little bit more. Will they be able to get it? They will. Wolves OP.
Wolves OP. That's one of the most frustrating things to play. Like, if you're playing a squishy support and you're a little bit behind, is playing against Lycan Wolves and playing against Forge Spirits. Like, having those solo you is so unfair, especially just Forge Spirits in particular, because you know Invoker's paying attention, he'll just Sunstrike you, and you're like, oh, come on! Just let me live my life, please. But regardless, Lycan was still pushing that bottom lane. The tower does go down, and a few kills go in the way of Union Gaming. Still a pretty even game. Of course, a little bit in the way of the gold for Union Gaming, mostly just because of the two towers that they had in the EXP as well. Just one more kill, a little bit more farming efficiency in their lanes. Mostly due to the difference in the mid lane, with the Ember Spirit doing a little bit better than the Night Stalker. It looks like Night Stalker will be rushing that Aghanim Scepter, which I think is certainly core on this hero ever since it got changed a few patches ago.
Oh, not sure if it's going to really be put to good use this game. We'll have to see how they use it. Arrow attempt coming out from the Mirana, but here comes the pounce from Angel. Can't leap away from that one, and 313. He's in a lot of trouble. Dunk from Benyaz. They'll be able to get one. Maybe they're looking for more. Blink forward by Angel. Looking for another pounce. He's wind running away. He gets the pounce latch onto Mono. Mono throws a Brain Sap. He's fairly tanky here, but with the Shadow Dance, it looks like he's going to try Power Shot, doing a lot of damage to Angel, trying to chase him down. He's getting a lot of Essence Shift charges, and now glimpse back on the Bane. Dunk from Benyaz. They'll be able to clean up another kill. Double kill for Benyaz. Both dunks.
Yeah, and you can see that NoT today is just kind of giving up on these fights, because when these are happening, Smash has been TPing in, now he's given up, he's just pushing towers with Lycan. Also, I've just received confirmation that yes, you can Chrono a Courier. One of my friends heard the cast and saw it fit to make sure that that fact was set straight. And Zenrals, he's picked up a staff of wizard. Do you think this is a force staff, or do you think he's going for a necrobook or something? Oh, never mind. Binyaz, he's going on the rabbit. He's dead. Binyaz,
Yep.
he finished up his blade mail as well. So no chance right there.
Yeah, Benyaz was midway through that dunk animation, stolen away by the Ember Spirit. Poor Benyaz, all he wanted to do was dunk. But in the end, Mirana is going to die here in the Radiant Jungle. And, well, I guess back to the point about the Disruptor. Maybe.
I just hate support Mirana for this reason. I always feel like it's just so far behind. It relies so much on just getting the kills early on. It's not like a support Kunkka as well, where he can kind of farm pretty efficiently as well, or support Alchemist, for instance, but that's just me. I think support Mirana compared to core is just so underwhelming. Even when I see it played really well, I'm just like, yes, it's a 5-second stun at level 1. Also, Angel might be in trouble here. He's caught between 3 heroes. But he's
Who's
not
caught
scared.
who? They're going to get the pounce onto Ewo. Now the
pursue here. They have a lot of chase mobility.
Yeah, blink forward by Angel. Not going to be able to find anybody with the pounce, however. And yeah, as you're saying about the Mirana, she's 1-4-1 this game. Hasn't been able to make really an impact at all. And just with the treads as well as the Basilius on 313B, I don't know, there's just nothing that he can do. At this point, he's a walking arrow.
Yeah, and he only has 1 level in leap as well, so if he uses leap for whatever reason, he just can't be out of position for the next 30 seconds, which is quite a long time in Dota times. Like, there have only been 40 of those so far in this game, or 38 of them so far in this game, so just to put that in perspective, Rabbit has what he has to do versus what the opponents have to do to kill him is just so lopsided against him. It's really unfair, it seems. And now she has to buy a gem, too.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of gems, Slark also picks one up for his team. I believe that is Angel's gem. And so not one of the supports buying it. He was the one who had the gold, so he's the one who's going to commit to that. So
it's
both teams
do. Good item on Slark.
Oh yeah, definitely. With the Shadow Dance telling you exactly where there's wards. And, well, with the Blink Dagger, he can also deward those himself, so he doesn't need a support to go up to the high ground either. So yeah, definitely, this Slark is going to take away a lot of map control from Not Today, and similarly, I think that Not Today are going to be able to deward most of the map coming out from Union Gaming with their gem of their own, so a lot of these teamfights are going to be gone into blind.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, Disruptor is going to be turning that Staff of Wizardry into his Aghanim Scepter. I was thinking it might have been a Yule Scepter as well. Just being able to Yule someone into the Kinetic Field and the Static Storm is also pretty good. Kind of same way with Jakiro, just being able to set up your own stuns with the Yule Scepter is pretty nice. And looks like Windranger, she picked up the Belt of Strength earlier, and I was wondering what it was, and it looks like they're just going to go full on right here. She's also going to be picking up her own Necronomicon.
Yeah, Necrobook, one of those items. It's better when you have more of them. Well, blink forward by Angel. He's not going to be able to get the pounce off onto anybody. And Benyaz also looking for initiation. Not going to find it. Mini spells are resting the shackle onto both of them. The power shot to follow that up. Where's the Fiend's Grip? It's being held onto by Mono here. And for now, they're just going to give away this tier 2 tower. TP back in from the Mirana. I think Mirana's just going to die. She'll cancel that TP. Yeah, you don't want to be there. Tier 2 tower in the mid lane.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just all they're going to be doing. I think I pammed to that, but Shapeshift's going to be coming up. Looks like Bottom. She doesn't have a TP. And they do have a gem. Oh, nice juke. Well, Angel's stuck. He's down to next.
He can't go anywhere. Pounce. Okay. Yeah, he'll be able to get out here, but now Ewo is there chasing him down with the Mirana ulti as well, but his ultimate's going to wear off, and he'll just be forced to TP out. So in the end, Slark just caught in a very awkward situation there, but in the end, it's not going to lead to any kills. So that about sums that up. Let's see.
Yeah, Smash has now finished his Aghanim Scepter as well, so unobstructed vision during the nighttime. It also does affect wards, so what's great is that if you have your wards during the nighttime, it's like they have map hack. It's actually just ridiculous. Do you actually know how to, as a spectator, just view the Fog of War from a certain faction?
I have it bound to F3 and F4, but I'm not sure how your keys are bound.
Do you remember what the default is? Because I have
no.
F3 as the items. Speaking of which, look at them, but
I'm not sure. That's unfortunate. It is nice whenever you see a Night Stalker with Ags, but I mean, you can pretty much see here. Just look at that circle.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Well, and now he's going to drop his ultimate as well. They're hunting Angel, it seems. They're going to run into him with Ewo. No lockdown for Angel, however, and Angel should be able to walk this one off. I don't know, they have vision, arrow to fly, not going to land on Angel. Smash is just kind of standing there.
He probably turned this, because he has his Shadow Dance as well.
Well, he doesn't have a lot of follow-up, but here comes the follow-up in the form of Benyaz as well as a Disruptor. Maybe they're looking for this initiation. Smash has complete vision to blink forward. They're going to catch out this poor support Ron as she's going to be blown up. Nothing she can do there. And Night Stalker is going to be forced back with that Aghanim Scepter. It is good for utility, but he just doesn't do enough damage to turn there.
Yeah, that's also the, like... Unless you have someone on your team that can do damage with the Night Stalker, it's like, well, cool, you just get to see all the things you can't do really clearly, right? But... I think it's still a very good pickup, if for nothing else than making sure that they don't get jumped by these Blink initiators in both Benyaz and Angel. And also, Cinderlin can, he's not necessarily a Blink initiator, but can certainly initiate from quite a far distance with the high movement speed from his Remnants, as well as the Slate of Fists and the Searing Chains, which he can just do from Fog. So I think even if they don't have damage yet, it was still a very important pickup, and it's still worth it to have gone that first. Now that he is holding on to the gem as well, he's going to be able to spot those wards very easily, even if he can't de-ward pretty easily. He's going to have Nova come with him to help with that. So, still. And speaking of items, finishing up, Cinderlin did finish
blink forward! Benyaz gets the call only onto Nova, however. He's not going to be able to get enough spins, but with the Static Storm committed to this, they should be able to get this kill. Where's the detection on the ground? They do have a gem onto Angel. Dunk going to be missed on the Wind Ranger, and Wind Ranger trying to run away, but that's not going to help you. They do have the glimpse back. What?
I was just like, this is why I thought she needed a Force Staff. Yes, you can't Force Staff out of Pounce, but just there are so many circumstances where she would have been able to get away and maybe help her team if she got the Force Staff, and probably got some more shackles as well. So it just, the Necro book is great and everything, but
Angel dying solo to these Necro minions. Will they be able to chase him down? It looks like they might. He's bottling up. And just look at the damage going his way. Eventually they will be cleaned up, it seems, but if he kills one of those, he's pretty much dead. In the end, they won't get that kill, but no. It's scary when your Slark just gets that low trying to go up against those Necro minions.
Yeah, for sure. I actually saw him, sometimes when you're Slark, you just Dark Pact instinctively, just in general. And he actually started it and stopped the animation. Because he was like, wait a second, this will kill me. So good awareness from him at least, but that would have been made you feel pretty dumb if that happened. So it looks like everyone just kind of farming up their next items. Everyone's just farming pretty well, I think. Mainly the Aghanim Scepters coming up on these supports, which are big game changers, especially for the Disruptor, as we mentioned before. But the Death Ward for the Aghanim Scepter for Jericho, that's a lot of damage. I think it's one of the least respected ultimates in the game as far as its damage output and its contribution to the team fights.
Yeah, I don't know. If you're able to lock people down inside that Static Storm Kinetic Field combo and have the Aghanim's Witch Doctor ulti bouncing around through the entirety of that, that's pretty much a one team fight. There's really not a lot that Not Today can do about that. Well, for now, Not Today are going to start pushing down this mid lane. Nighttime is still plenty long during this, and he's going to find Jericho. Poor Jericho, silenced up, shackled to a tree. Nothing this Witch Doctor can do. He's cleaned up.
Yeah, absolutely. So, making use of that already. It's just so easy to gank, especially those squishy supports. And Slarky, he's still pretty squishy. He's only got a point booster, only got 1,300 health and strength tread, so it looks like he's going to be rushing that Eye of Scotty, which I'm generally not the biggest fan of on this hero. What do you think about that pickup? Just first, at least.
Well, I don't know. I think it's fine. Slark definitely needs those stats. He already has the Blink Dagger to get into the fights. He just needs a way to keep on fighting. BKB's not particularly useful up against Not Today. I don't know. I think it still would have been a worthy pickup. I don't think there's very many times where BKB's terrible. But with the Bane still to lock him down, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I think the thing with Bane in particular is he can just make sure he tries to Dark Pact constantly. Once he has the stats, that's a funny thing about
they caught out Ewo here. He's going to be brought back in. He's trying to get out of here, but the Static Storm committed. Ewo's dead.
That's 4 heroes
Angel,
as
will
well.
he die? No. He has the ultimate to pop, and Angel's going to be just fine as well. A solid pickup, and Benyaz looking for more. Blinks forward aggressively, not going to catch anybody out in the call.
And in the meantime, just rat, and more rat coming out from Nova as well as Mono. Going to be trying to get this tier 1 top. There is a glyph. I don't think they can force it as well as Angel TP's back. everyone being really smart with their TP cooldowns on UG this time, just making sure that they don't all TP to one place at once so they can always come back for these fights because they know that they're the ones winning the team fights, and it's on NoT today to just trying to make sure they get as much out of the map as they can by being rats. But speaking of which, Necro3 now picked up on your Windrunner, so let's see if she decides to go for any sort of mobility item now. If she tries to go for a disable such as a Scythe Device.
Well, Ember Spirit, he gets the chains onto a Necrominion, but now he's going to be Fiend's Grip up. It will be taken off eventually. They canceled on the backlines. Well, Bane, they mech through a lot of that damage. Nova still trying to man-fight up against these supports. Disruptor falling very low. All they need is a little bit more damage, and they'll be able to find it. Nova, he's trying to get through this. He's windrunning, but it won't be enough. They'll be able to get the trade there. Axe also fell in that engagement, and well, I don't think they're going to find any more 1 for 2 all said and done.
There's so many times when Nova could just shackle, but he doesn't, and I'm not sure why. I don't know what to say, but just there's so many times when he's just kind of standing and right-clicking. I just feel like he could land a shackle or at the very least try, but then he just ends up dying. So I'm not sure what the logic is maybe he thinks that he just needs to try to out DPS or do as much damage as he can, but I just think that a few more shackles probably could have turned a few of these fights.
Yeah, definitely. You miss every shackle you don't throw, so I don't know. Sometimes it's just worth going for it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, worst case scenario, it costs you 1 auto attack.
Right, I actually am going to have to tell him to shut the fuck up, so sorry, 1 second.
Okay, well, I'll take over the cast for a little bit once you're back. Just go ahead and give me a shout so I know that you're there. We're going to have smoke coming up from Benjaz as well as the Disruptor here in the bottom lane looking to catch out, but speaking of catching somebody out, Miranda Ultimate's being deployed. Do they have detection on the ground? They don't, and now Benjaz is the one getting caught out. They drop a nice static storm, but Benjaz is just taking too much damage. He gets 1 dunk, looking for a second, but he's going to fall too quickly. They chain up Ewo. He's locked into the static storm for too long, and they get 2 kills. Definitely worthy trade. Angel looking for the pounce. It's going to be off the mark. Doesn't catch out Nova here, but now the cast, it is going to drop, and the ultimate is being let go by Jericho. Look at it go. They're going to be able to get a 3rd kill inside the Radiant jungle. The Necronomicon units, excuse me, are being a little bit annoying for them, but still not really doing all that much. And cheeky play, Archer just denied the warrior.
Yeah, that was not sure exactly what happened in that fight there, but I mean, I guess you told me, but still looks like it's still a fairly even game. Pretty much everyone is on par with their counterpart on the other team. Just the supports are pretty far ahead on Union Gaming. I think that's where their biggest edge is. The Ags has been done on the Disruptor for a while, and it's almost done on Jericho. He's about 500 gold away, which are big teamfight changers, especially around the Roche Pit, which is going to start to be contested quite heavily soon.
Yeah, in the last team fight, Lycanthrope was just locked inside that static storm for pretty much the entirety of the duration. He died towards the end of it, but that was a full duration silence onto the Lycanthrope. He couldn't do anything. And in the end, it was an Axe for 3 trade in the favor of Union Gaming.
Well, there you have it. And Binyaz is starting to look pretty ridiculous right now. He's already sitting on 31 armor. So whenever he uses Berserker's Call, he's got 71 armor. Not to mention the Blade Mail, and he's got a lot of room to grow too. You can replace a stick, replace obviously the Tranquil Boots with some Boots of Travel, so you can go for something like an AC and a Heart, or maybe even an Aghanim Scepter. I think the Ags wouldn't be that great this game, but going just for the pure tank build, pure tank initiator, I think we'll give them a pretty big edge in the fights, because what's the initiation on the side of NoT today besides just a shackle on a hero that has no mobility items?
Blink Grip. I don't know, other than that, there's not a lot, though.
Yeah, I guess there's the Blink Dagger. Alright, sorry.
Yeah.
He has picked up a Robe of the Magi. What do you think this is going to be? Do you think it's going to be an Orchid or a Refresher?
I'm perplexed. I really don't know.
Could be drums, I guess.
I don't know. Could be a Blade Mail. Could be Treads. There's a lot of things it could be.
Diffusal Blade.
It could be a Diffusal Blade. I don't know what it is going to be, however. I don't know. Maybe Refresher.
I think Orchid is actually pretty good on Bane.
Oh yeah, well Jericho, he gets him out off on 2, but he's falling too low, but look at it go! Aghanim's Witch Doctor ultimate at work. They get 2 kills, a dunk on the second one, they glimpse back Nova into the rest of the enemy team, and 3 heroes are going to die. Dunk mixed actually because of the mechanism popped by Nova, but it's only delaying the inevitable. Eventually will die. Double kill for Benyaz, and a lot of supports there would have just completely backed off, but not this Witch Doctor. He just let it go and turned it into 3 kills for his team.
Yeah, you see how much damage that does. And that's not even level 16 yet. I think at level 16 it still gets another 20% damage increase. It's just absolutely unreal. It's all physical damage, so your BKBs aren't going to do anything. You just have to tank up, and very fast DPS as well. I think it's like a butterfly's base attack time. I don't know, man. My brain's struggling to come up with some comparisons, but it's really freaking good. That's the end. So, they're also going to be able to turn that fight into another tower, so Union Gaming just keep taking objective after objective after these fights.
Well, we saw last game how quickly a Lycanthrope can take those towers if you give him that room, but I don't know, for now, Ewo really hasn't been able to find a big team fight win to capitalize on. They've been able to rat down a majority of these towers, but with the tower score, even Union Gaming should have a significant gold lead, and indeed they do. It's probably going to near, I don't know, it's not that big, but more distressing is the experience lead that Union Gaming have notched for themselves. Above 12,000 experience lead. Now with this Roshan going their way, on top of that, it's going to be even more. Smoke coming out from NoT today looking to contest this.
I don't know if they can, though. There's a Disruptor and a Witch Doctor ultimate available. And you're fighting in the Roche Pit with an Ember Spirit that has Cleave and his BKB.
Where's the detection? They're going to drop the Stag Storm onto 3. They're going to drop down the Mirana very quickly. Dunk going onto the Bane. Buyback from the Mirana. They're trying to catch out the Wind Ranger here as well as the Lycanthrope. They're going to be able to get the Wind Ranger very quickly. Ewo forced to pop his ultimate and just run away. There's nothing he can do. I don't know. Not today. They tried to contest it and it completely blew up in their face.
Yep. That's exactly what I thought would happen, but also Angel did finish up his Eye of Scotty right before that fight, so a lot more effective there. Probably going to be looking towards the MKB or the Basher, something along those lines. They do want to make sure that Lycan doesn't get to...
Aeon's going to latch on to Smash up the top lane. They're TPing back. He's going to try to get out of here alive. Arrow going to land on Angel, and that will secure the retreat. Disruptor not there fast enough to get the glimpse off. Either way, as you were saying.
I was mistaken. It was actually Smash, not Lycan. I was just going to say, they want to make sure that obviously no split push occurs, and Rabbit's sitting in a very dangerous spot.
Well, they don't have vision of him just yet, so...
That's such a poker face way to just kind of stand there near like 4 different heroes that can all solo kill you.
Cancel casting arrows as he goes. He might go for one and just see what he can scout and then TP out, but for now, he's found himself a nice little cubbyhole to sit in.
This is also going to be a DD rune on Angel, so after they take this Roche, you can have a DD on your Slark. So it's going to be a lot better. They have better Roche fight as well. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what they're waiting for.
Yeah, neither am I. I think not today. Well, maybe they'll be able to get pick off onto Ewo here. They're going to glimpse it back, but it's just going to run the other way. And Lycanthrope should be able to get out there alive. They're going to cancel the blink of Mono. And now Pounce going to be off the mark yet again from Angel. But he's slowed down by that Scotty. He's going to throw the Brain Sap. He's fairly tanky. Air to Fly going to be completely off the mark and dunk. Coming out from Benyaz, they're going to be able to clean up that kill, and with that, they should be pretty much fearlessly going to the Roshan pit. They're looking for more, however, TP attempt coming out from Nova. Courier is in the mix as well. Vision from the Shiva's guard. Will he dunk the Courier? Please dunk the Courier, dunk the Courier. Benyaz gets it. Cargo worth $0, dead punch. I like that new UI change.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Be on the summit, inspiring the folks at Valve to implement it in all the games.
Oh, poor Jericho here, trying to TP out. Will they be able to cancel it? They're not going to be able to. He, in fact, is going to cancel it himself. He silenced up for such a long time after that Night Stalker silence, but they're standing in the Static Storm, and they'll be able to get the Wind Ranger, and now Night Stalker is going to get a little bit of a casual D-ward while he's running away. He needs to be careful. Angel's there with the Pounce. It's not going to latch, but it's going to get him closer. Shadow Dance for the extra movement speed. Smash is running up towards the high ground, and he's trying to juke through. The gem is on the deck. LOL, what? Night Stalker, did he just drop his gem to try to juke there?
Yeah, he did.
Smash, he's running towards the north. That's not your base, Smash. Smash? They're TPing back to the base, trying to chase this Night Stalker completely around the map, around the world. And now the chain Sleight of Fist. It's going to be on the mark and godlike, or beyond godlike for Ember Spirit rather, and a free gem fed away as well.
I guess, okay, well, I can kind of see the logic, because if he's caught and dies, he's going to feed the gem anyway, right? So maybe
yes.
He feeds the gem and maybe doesn't die.
It was the funniest play I've seen today.
He just has the wherewithal while he's right-clicking furiously everywhere on the map to just drag the gem right next to him and just flawlessly do that while he doesn't interrupt his step at all. Because he didn't, like, stop running for a second.
No! Must have been shift queued.
Or something.
Or just, like, lightning fingers.
Oh, man. And now Murata buys another gem.
Well, I think that's 3 in this game so far.
Yeah, it's 3. That's a 3rd gem so far. One for second one for the Radiant.
Well, yeah, both teams pretty much without word vision. There is one for both teams on their inside the Radiant jungle, but now Roshan's the next objective, excuse me, for Union Gaming. They dropped the Necronomicon units to try to scout this out. It looks like they're going to be cleaned up, and with the cast, they sure enough will. Benyaz gets the last hit, and Heart finished up by the Lycanthrope. I don't know. For now, Not Today really can't contest this, and they will just be giving away the Roshan.
Classic Dire side advantage, and this should be a Rosh for the Ember Spirit. I think it will be for the Ember Spirit, yeah, looks like they'll do that. They realize that Angel is a lot more survivable with his sustain in these fights, just with the Shadow Dance and the Scotty, not to mention the stat healing is going to help him out a lot. So giving it to the Glass Cannon hero and the Ember Spirit, I certainly agree with that choice.
Yeah, definitely, and now Axe finishes himself up a Heart, sitting at about 2.6k HP. And as you've said, his armor is absolutely ridiculous, 66% physical damage resistance before he uses the Call.
That's and the Call gives him 40 more armor.
Benyaz looking for blood. Maybe he'll be able to find it this Bane. I don't know. Benyaz not going to go for it. A little bit too rich for him. Smash has pretty clear vision here. Ember Spirit going to be spamming out this top wave.
And
Well,
King's
for now,
out of
both
ward.
teams just sitting back. Smash going to run into Benyaz. He has vision with the gem, however. Shiva's guard going to slow him down. Glimpse all the way back down there. He will BKB to break that, I believe, and indeed he did use that BKB charge.
I was like, wait, did he blink out? Like, why do we have a blink on Night Stalker? But no. He actually, it looks like he's picked up the Ultimate Orb. Do you think this is just a... I don't think this is a Lincoln. Do you think this is just a Scythe of Ice? Oh my gosh. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I think Scythe of Ice would be fine. Like, I think they just need a way to lock down these heroes and try to get them. Well, now they're looking for the skull on Nova. They get the call onto him, and the Shiva's guard as well. Nightmare will delay things for a little bit longer, and looks like Nova's going to be able to get alive, but the Bane is not going to be so lucky. Pounds coming out from the Slarky, slowing it down with the Scotty, and he's already spent the win run. Going to cool down 1 second. It's not going to be enough. The burn damage coming out from the Ember Spirit is going to clean up the kill. Smash, he's man fighting up against this Slark, but Slark is...
lane
Yeah.
and top lane, they're just split pushing.
Rat. I don't know. The mid lane's cooled down for now.
You
Let's
don't
see if they're
have
going
to
to be
go
able to...
back.
Yeah.
Just send one person back. Also, did anyone tell Angel that Diffusal and Scotty don't stack?
Whoa. I... Wow. I did
The
not
only
expect...
reason you would buy this and keep the unique attack modifier is just to purge off Necro units.
Yeah.
But
A weird choice by Angel. Gives
why
him
not
good
just get a
stats.
Mjolnir when you have Shadow Dance?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. These teams have surprised me time and time again. I don't know. It's always something fun to watch. I guess killing the Necronomicon units is nice, but they have 4 of them, I believe, with the Lycanthrope as well as the Wind Ranger. Don't think we have any other ones coming out from them. But even so, they also have a Ghost Scepter on the Bane, so purging that off, I guess, is nice in theory. But still, I think another damage item, Mjolnir especially, would have been better for Angel.
Yeah, and the cool thing about Diffusal is that if you do use all the Diffusal charges on Necro creeps, then the Diffusal paid for itself, because Diffusal Blade costs how much? Let's see here.
3,300?
3,300, I think something like that. Yeah, 3,300. And so you get 8 charges, so you get 16. So actually, okay, never mind. You lose 100 gold if you purge all of them. So not worth it. Why do you get it? Flame. But
If you get the level 2 and use all of those charges?
If you get the level 2, that's an extra 850, and then you
For another
still
8
only
charges.
get 800, so then you're losing 150 gold. By the way, Cinderlin, pops his BKB. I think this is his 10-second BKB.
Well, they're looking for Smash. No way to cancel that. Yeah, he popped his BKB before running through the Static Storm, so was able to get out there alive. Now they're looking for more mono. Brain Sap onto the Disruptor, and Disruptor in a very bad situation here. Lycanthrope is being held at bay, but with the health damage, Bane's going to be able to clean up on the backlines. Cinderlane, he's going to lose his, Sidling going to lose his Aegis here. Shiva's guard popped. Ghost Scepter is not going to save you from the magical damage. And there's that beautiful purge. Yeah, on the Bane. They're going to be able to get that kill. Pounced forward by Angel. Looking for more possible. He has the Blink Dagger coming off of cooldown. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, Wind Ranger should be just fine, but in the mid lane, here comes the push from the Lycanthrope. Going to be delayed by the Disruptor for now, and, well, Jericho loses a lot of health after killing that melee Necronomicon, but, I don't know, in the end, what a weird fight engagement pickoff thing.
What a weird Dota.
Yeah, what a weird Dota. That pretty much sums up this game. Like,
he's going to be fighting Angel now. Now,
yeah.
imagine if Angel had a basher.
Yep.
I'm just going to say. I mean, I don't know, man. I would not spend 3,300 gold on an item. That's almost a Sacred Relic just to counter one Ghost Scepter. Because, I mean, I think that's particularly relevant for maybe some certain heroes that don't have the unique attack modifiers, like Clinks or Lifestealer, for instance. Both physical DPSers that have Ghost Scepter would be a common problem for them. But it's not really that common of a problem for Slark, and they have a lot of damage. Otherwise, they have all of the magic damage coming out from the Disruptor in particular. Actually, I guess most of it's...
Ultimate. Pop by Ewo. The pounce is going to be off the mark from Angel. And, well, here comes the Dance Grip. It's not going to be Dark Packed, and Angel might be in a lot of trouble here with the Necronomicon units. They're just chewing through Angel's armor, or health, excuse me. He's going to throw the Shadow Dance and should be able to make it out alive here, juking through the trees. He has another pounce. Will he use it? He's going to blink. Where did he blink? He blinked back into the lane. Oddly enough, back where his teammates are. Now pounces back into the trees, looking for Ewo here. He's not going to find him, however, and TP away from Ewo. Ewo will be able to make it out alive. Mirana died. Over by the Ancients.
Oh wait, Mirana died. I'm surprised. I mean, it's not like against the player. It's just position she's put in. She's got 4.5k net worth. It's pretty tough to be a Mirana like that. She's not the sort of hero that her spells are so good that she doesn't need items.
Well, Nightstalker looking for Jericho. That reduced vision from the Nightstalker ultimate set that up in a nice shackle onto the two supports, and without that damage, they might be able to win this teamfight. PKB coming up from Jericho. Look at it go. He's channeling it through. It doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but does enough to get the kill on the Nightstalker at the very least. Now, Ewo, he's standing inside the Static Storm. They're going to get that kill as well. Wind Ranger, she mechs up. They're looking for the dunk. Will they find it? It's not going to be necessary. Bang drops the Enfeeble onto the Ember Spirit. Buybacks galore coming out from the Radiant team. It looks like the Dire's just going to back off after that. They will clear up the Bane inside the base. Well, yeah. Now they're going back in, pounce in, they get smashed with the leash, and now Ember Spirit's rotating in. Axe doesn't have a lot of mana to speak up, pops the Blade Mail. Now look at that Diffusal go, slows him down just enough to get that kill, and another Beyond Godlike for Ember Spirit. 13-0 and 13 on Ciderlin. He's pretty much been silently picking up those kills. Yep, GG.
That's gonna be it. Wow, so Union Gaming, what a topsy. I just don't, I don't even know what to say about these games. It's as simple as that, man. Wow. Well, alright. Very aggressive game. I think the main thing was just the lack of initiation coming out on the side of NoT today. Just, there was one mobility item that they had on their entire team, whereas there was so much mobility coming out for Union Gaming, and both in the Ember Spirit as well as the other two cores both having Blink Daggers, and they were just able to take the fights on their own accord. And going for the Necrobooks is cute and everything, but unless you can capitalize on it by making sure that you take the good fights or take the towers off of them, then it can usually be all for naught, and we saw it as a result of this game. So that's going to be it for us for now. We're going to be getting into Game 3 in just a couple minutes, everyone. Once again, I'm Roxas, and with me is Grandis. And this is going to be a best of 3 for the joinDOTA League semifinals. Whoever wins this next game is going to be moving on to the finals to face Snaw. So we'll find out in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a